Bowen to say a few words about the award and the reason for which it is being given this year.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. So I represent the Tribology Trust of Great Britain, which is a UK charity established, first of all, by Professor Peter Jost, who was a very famous man in the field of tribology, who died early last year at the age of 94. And so he was alive to celebrate the 50th anniversary at Buckingham Palace with the Duke of Edinburgh of the founding of the discipline, scientific discipline of tribology. He invented the name, a famous report bearing his name was issued, and this put the subject on the world map. But most people don't know what tribology is, so I thought I would tell you a little about that. Now, I chair the Tribology Trust Awards Committee on behalf of the Royal Society and the Royal Academy of Engineering, and it's administered by the Institution of Mechanical Engineers in London. And we give gold and silver and bronze medals for outstanding achievements in the subject of tribology. Now, what this is the science and engineering of friction and lubrication and wear, and it's rather important. None of us could stand up if it wasn't for friction. We couldn't get out of the room, we'd roll about. And of course, anything which is screwed together relies on friction to hold it, but also engines and anything that runs and rubs against another surface will wear. And when you add all this up, this makes an absolutely enormous economic impact on national and global societies. It's a very, very wide discipline which goes from the atomic level of how atoms interact with each other on surfaces, right up to the wear and friction on massive machines, the biggest that you can get. And it applies all the way through manufacturing, through maintenance, and through transportation, and indeed anything which involves any kind of mechanical engineering and surfaces rubbing against each other. So this was recognised in the UK, as I said, 50 years ago, a bit over 50 years ago, by Peter Jost, and established this trust which recognises achievements. And I had the pleasure last week of being at the Institution of Mechanical Engineers to help to present the silver and bronze medals, which are for more junior achievements. But here we're celebrating the top one. We believe that the gold medal in tribology is the world's preeminent award for this subject. It's very well respected and indeed I think coveted amongst tribologists. I should say that I'm not a tribologist myself. I have some passing acquaintance with the field from my own research, but the committee was deliberately set up not to include any tribologists, but to include experts in other fields, from the materials, which is my field, the mechanical engineering, the aerospace, and the other engineering disciplines, manufacturing and electrical, which are involved in the subject. But we deliberately set up a committee of non-specialists so that we would not get torn one way or another by the fashions of the subject. So we really do take an objective view. And of course we take an objective view by getting references and recommendations from world-famous tribologists. And to show you the international standing of the subject, of the award, I should tell you that in order to get the gold medal, you need 5 extremely strong references from famous tribologists in different countries, 5 different countries. So it truly is an international award. And Kenneth has made enormous contributions in 3 particular areas. Well, the first of which is coatings, because if you make something which is going to be in part of a machine, an engine for example, then the first thing you have to think about is the structure. Is the component strong enough for the application? A structure and a material which is strong enough may not be a very good material to have low friction. And so you need to coat that material with something else in order to get the good tribological properties as well as the structural properties. And that was one of Kenneth's early achievements, is to study coatings from the microscopic scale upwards. And he wrote with Alan Matthews in Great Britain a very famous book called Coatings Tribology, which is always referred to when anybody wants to make a new surface coating or to apply this in industry. So that on its own would justify his award, but that's about a third of what he's done. So the second area I want to talk about is engineering maintenance. And maintenance sounds a very boring thing, and of course it's the thing we last think of. When we see a shiny new car in the showroom, we don't think of how much it's going to cost to maintain until it breaks down. And preventative maintenance and predictive maintenance is one of Kenneth's strong points. And of course, it's not only in things like automobiles, but also on enormous structures, which if you stop, say, a casting machine on a big steel production line, that's a structure which is about the size of this building actually, and has many moving parts under very high load. It's very important to be able to predict when that thing will need maintenance, change of bearings or whatever, and that is one of the areas in which Kenneth has specialised. And then the third area in which he's been very active is in the field of transportation. In 2012, he wrote a paper entitled Global Energy Consumption, due to friction in, I can't read my own shorthand, due to friction in passenger cars, showing that the amount of energy, valuable gasoline and other forms of energy that is wasted as heat in a car and not in propelling us forward globally is absolutely vast. It's a difficult calculation to do, but he provided the estimates to do that, and that really drew attention to the subject globally, and it's always cited whenever anyone starts to think about reducing the amount of energy we waste in transportation. So he's made enormous contributions in three very important areas of the field. As one of his references put it, he's a visionary scientist and a great engineer of our time. So I would like now to hand over to Her Majesty's Ambassador, Her Excellency, I always wanted to say that, to present the gold medal and the certificate of citation to Professor Holmberg.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Professor Bowen, my dear colleagues, friends, family, relatives. I first want to thank, of course, the Tribology Trust for giving me this medal, which I appreciate very much and I value it very, very highly. I know the first medal was given in 1978, and that was about 40 years ago when I started being involved and getting interested in friction and wear. And I remember it was given to David Bowen, who was really setting the scene for modern tribology research. And after that I followed those great names who got this, and I really never dreamed that I would be somewhere on that list and one day get this medal. I really appreciate this very much. But of course, in research today, it's not a one-man work. It's a team, and we have had a great team at WTT, which I have closest been working together with all these subjects that was mentioned here. And I've been now with 40 years, almost 40 years in WTT, and I must say, and I want to say it here, that I appreciate very much WTT as an organization and platform for doing research. It's an excellent place, even if I compare, with other institutes abroad. I don't say it only because my boss is here. but it is really a very good place to do both applied research, scientific, and it's a dynamic and inspiring environment. And it has been WTT has all through these years supported this research. We have got much money for decades actually, Finnish Academy, and a lot of work has been done also in the international projects, EU projects. And that actually brings me to one group which I'm very much indebted also, which is not represented here, and it's actually all these international colleagues. because we have a lot of our group has worked with colleagues, so we have groups in the United States, in many European countries, Japan, China, Australia, and even if they are not here, I know that they are in a way remotely here, because when they heard about this medal, I'm getting more and more stuff. My email box with mail from them. It has been an important part. And of course, when you work internationally, it gives you also the possibility to go. You have meetings in many places. You meet these colleagues, you meet their families, and you get to know different cultures and so on. And that's of course been very rewarding. It's right, we had maybe some 20 years we were doing research on Arctic tribology. It means how machines work in very cold temperatures. And we had a seminar in Yakutsk, which is in East Siberia, and outside it was minus 52 degrees. So that was pretty cold. And there was, on this seminar was the president of the IVA, the Swedish Royal Engineering Academy. And his motto was that he said that join science and see the world. And that's really how it has been. When you are working in science, you get to see quite a lot. It's a big benefit. Then the most important supporting part is, of course, my own family. You can see here my children, grandchildren, my brother and sister, close relatives, and a lot of close friends, those who I enjoy life when I'm not thinking so much about tribology. And also we are representatives of I've also been involved in the science academies, engineering academies, and I'm glad to have them represented here. It has given me a possibility to look in a way larger discussion on scientific and societal issues. Okay, now when I've been doing looking 40 years tribology research, there has happened a lot. It was actually 40 years ago, it was more like an engineer, when a machine is squeezing, then you put some oil there. And now it's been really interesting sorry. But now interesting to see that now it has been going more to science, and now we are working with physicists and chemistry and looking at when there is a squeeze, what happens with the atoms and the molecules, and we are starting to make computational models and so on that. But when you are working a long time, then you in a way maybe feel that you are following the same track and you are not looking widely enough on other solutions, and you maybe think that they should come up new ideas. And I was thinking about this last summer when one of my grandkids said that, "Grandpa, why do we need technology when there is magic?" and I never...
Technology is magic.
It is magic. But it was a new approach, so maybe I'm very positive. I think that this new generation will come up with, something that we couldn't even think about. Why not? Yeah. So I want to say that I appreciate very much to have you all. That means quite a lot to me here to share this day with me. And I'm very glad that you successfully managed to bring the gold medal here through the customs and through the security and all the way. And I can finally say that it's not always that easy. I will tell you how it was. It was in 2008, and then this medal was given to Professor Statisianides, who was a professor at Imperial College in UK. And the tradition is such that if a UK person gets this medal, then it's given in Buckingham Palace by the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip. But that special day was a little bit problematic because there was a strike in the underground. The underground didn't work, and it meant that all those people that normally go with the underground, they were going with their own cars or with buses. It was all crowded. And Peter Joyce, who was supposed to take this medal there, he had a big problem with finding some way to go to Buckingham Palace. So he was late and he rushed there, and then when he came to the room where the reception was to take place, he all of a sudden realized that he had forgotten the medal on the table in his office. And then he could see there at the corridor Prince Philip coming down, and he didn't know what to do. So we went to meet Prince Philip and said that, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, we have a problem. The medal you are supposed to give is back at my office. But Prince Philip was, of course, very experienced in these kind of ceremonies. So he said, oh, what kind of medal is it? It's gold medal. How big it is? It's no problem. There in my room I have a lot of medals. I can get one, you can borrow it. And then you give the proper medal later. So he turned around and then he went the corridor to his room, and after a while he came with the medal very much like this. So they could have the ceremony and there were photographs taken and all that. And then later on, Professor Ioannidis told me that when Prince Philip has given his speech and all this, and then he lowered his voice and said, but remember, I want to have the medal back.
This is for you to keep.
So I'm very glad that you managed to get it here.
Well, I knew that story, and so I was very, very
It's a
concerned.
true story. Okay, so with this, thank you very much. Thank you for coming here, and thank you for sharing this very important moment for me with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.